Tired of playing well but not winning? Think you're better than the people in your bracket? While it may be difficult to rise in MMR, earning money is easy. Just register on tryhard.gg and make money based on your performance. Get paid to carry your team.
The battle lines have been drawn. The 18 teams from across the world that will be competing at the international line have finally been decided. This August, the world's best Dota 2 teams will gather in Shanghai to battle for a shot at glory, a quest to secure the lion's share of the largest prize pool in esports history. The fans too will have their own quest, a quest to secure the maximum possible battle pass points by predicting the outcomes of the tournament with the utmost accuracy. Your reward? More battle pass levels. Here's a handy guide from us to help you win some freebies. Quick heads up, we'll be summarizing all the predictions at the end of this video, so don't worry about having to pause after every segment. Most picked hero? Grimstroke. A hero who is strong but not too overpowered usually ends up winning this category every year. The most picked heroes across all the regions in the International Line qualifiers are Ember Spirit, Wraith King, and Centaur Warrunner. Those are all good contenders to secure this prediction in the main event. However, the 7.22e patch has hurt Ember Spirit quite a bit, and it looks like the meta might change by the time TI kicks off. So we would advise picking Grimstroke, a hero which has always been in the meta since he was introduced to the pro scene. He is the most viable pick to secure this prediction. Most banned hero? Omni Knight. This category almost always goes to the best, the most annoying, and the most disgustingly OP hero in the pro scene. That's why we predict that the Omni Knight is going to win this one. The hero is just absurd at the moment, with Heavenly Grace blessing you with a ridiculous 50% status resistance on top of an absurd amount of strength and healing. He can also be played as a support or as an offlaner, making him extremely viable in this meta. The latest patch has brought only minor nerfs to this hero. Chen and Morphling are other worthy contenders for the title. Hero with the highest win rate? Gyrocopter. You'd usually want to pick a niche hero who only works in the right circumstances and won't be picked way too often. Meepo, Klinks, Huskar, Broodmother, Arc Warden are all worthy picks for this category. Unfortunately, these heroes have to be picked a minimum of 5 times over the course of TI, which makes them a risky proposition. We would lock down Gyrocopter as our choice. The hero is only picked up in very specific circumstances along with an IO against the right lineups, which lets him amass quite a high win rate. It also helps that he wasn't nerfed at all in patch 7.22e. Hero with the highest kill average? Bloodseeker. You need an aggressive snowballing hero who usually gets lots of kills and isn't picked too often so that it doesn't lessen his average. Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, and Bloodseeker are solid picks for this prediction. While some of the pros play the Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain in a passive way, Bloodseeker is almost entirely reliant on running around the map and getting kills every time Rupture is off cooldown, thus making him the most likely candidate to secure this. Bloodright's cooldown has been significantly buffed in the latest patch, which makes it very valuable to simply put 1 point in it for the silence while maxing out DPS capabilities with the other 2 spells. Hero with the highest assist average? Spirit Breaker. Over the past few years, global heroes like Spectre, Tinker, Nature's Prophet, and Zeus usually win this category. They're all solid picks for this year as well. However, heading into TI9, Spectre, Tinker, and Zeus seem like they're not part of this meta, while Nature's Prophet seems to be becoming a position 5 aura carrier rather than the global ganking force. We recommend either Ancient Apparition or Spirit Breaker for this category. Hero with the lowest death average? Medusa. There are just way too many variables for anyone to predict this accurately. It only takes one team to feed with a hero to bring down the average. That said, Medusa seems to be the most solid of picks for this role. Even when her team gets stomped, she usually doesn't feed too many kills as she is just too tanky and has a great escape mechanism with the Stone Gaze. Hero with the highest last hit average? Arc Warden. For this category, it might be a good idea to pick heroes that extend the game through their abilities and have innate farming mechanisms. While Medusa and Anti-Mage are definitely decent choices, we'd recommend the Naga Siren or Arc Warden to secure this category just because of their ability to farm all over the map, shove the waves, and extend the game indefinitely. Meepo is inarguably the favorite to take this category. No other hero can even come close to matching the XPM stats that Meepo puts out consistently. With so many Meepo specialists like Weeha, Abed, Mid-1 and Ace competing at TI9, we can expect Meepo to cross the gamefight threshold to win this category. We believe that the Storm Spirit is the most likely candidate to achieve this distinction, one that is able to secure kills right from the early game and also scales well into the late game phase, thanks to his ability to literally ball out of control. One or two carry heroes like Gyrocopter and Slark are also viable for this metric. Hero with the most last hits in a game, Arc Warden. After looking at the TI9 qualifiers, it is very difficult to imagine that there won't be one game where a team is down in net worth, but an Arc Warden delays the game indefinitely, securing an absurd amount of last hits in the process. While most sane Dota 2 fans will go for one of the stronger teams who've proved themselves throughout the DPC like Team Liquid, Team Secret, Vici Gaming or Virtus Pro, we are kind of different. If anything, OG's victory at TI8 proved that anything can happen at the International. So by that rationale, we gotta say that TNC Predator will be bringing home the Aegis of the Immortal. Under Heen's coaching, TNC Predator have gone from strength to strength and have proven that they're by far the most talented SEA squad to head into an international. They're definitely a dark horse to win the biggest Dota 2 tournament in history. After all, the prophecy must be fulfilled. Teams with the most kills in a game, TNC Predator. SEA teams have always been known for the aggression and their tendency to tunnel vision on kills. While that might not be the most efficient way to win the game, it definitely makes them the favorites for this category. We expect TNC to go the farthest in TI9 and hence have the highest chance of taking this category. Team with the highest kill average, Team Secret. According to statistics, the most bloodthirsty teams heading into the International are Vici Gaming, averaging 26.52 kills per game, followed by Team Secret with 26.23 and EG with 25.80. We have no reason to disagree with them, and hence we'd recommend picking any of the three squads. However, we are personally leaning towards Team Secret for this category since they've gently evolved into one of the most aggressive teams over the course of the season. The team likes to dive towers and kill people more than taking objectives, which makes them the most likely candidate to win this category. Team with the fewest deaths in a game, Vici Gaming. This category usually goes to the team who's most likely to completely stomp and style on their opponents without making any mistakes. Hence we feel that Team Secret or Vici Gaming are the most likely candidates to take this category. In the past, Chinese teams have been known to show immense discipline, and this in our opinion tips the scales in favor of Vici Gaming slightly. This category usually goes to teams who group up often and focus on team fights more than skirmishes, which rules out teams like Team Secret who usually prefer to let Mid-1, Yabzor and Zai make all the moves as 2 or 3 man gang squads instead of taking full-on team fights. So Vici Gaming, TNC Predator or perhaps even Virtus Pro are the most likely candidates to take this category. We pick Vici Gaming to take this category as they statistically hold an edge over TNC Predator and Virtus Pro in the assist department with 64.8 for assists per game. You just know that Ace and NIP are going to have one of those games on Arc Warden, delaying the game to extreme lengths before taking the victory. It has happened multiple times across the DPC season and in all likelihood will happen at TI9. Team that wins the shortest game, Virtus Pro. You want to pick a team that can dominate, outclass, and win every single lane while also throwing caution to the wind and being aggressive enough to march up to the high ground to take barracks regardless of the Aegis situation. In our minds, one team pops up when we think of all these attributes: Virtus.pro. The CIS juggernauts are fearless and talented enough to pull this off and secure the victory in the shortest game of TI9. According to statistics, Ninjas in Pajamas have the highest average game length in the DPC, with their games lasting a full 39.41 minutes. It makes sense considering the passive playstyle, with Ace preferring heroes like the Naga Siren, Arc Warden, etc. Teams that pick the most different heroes. Virtus.pro. Versatility is one of the salient features of Virtus.pro. They can play almost any hero in any lane against any team. They're the team who practically invented the one-position Omni Knight. Clearly they're not afraid to experiment on the biggest stages, and they're definitely having a deep run at TI9, allowing them to play more games and pick up even more heroes. Teams that pick the fewest different heroes. Fnatic. Ideally, we should pick a team that is most likely not going to make it very far in TI9 for this category. Why? The earlier you are eliminated, the less likely it is you pick different heroes. Fnatic have definitely regressed over the past few months and only made it to TI9 based on their achievements earlier in the season. The fact that they've been reluctant to experiment over the course of the DPC makes it even more likely for them to be the team that picks the fewest different heroes. According to statistics, amongst the players attending TI9, Miracle averages the highest number of kills per game across the DPC with 9.07 kills per game. He is closely followed by Paparazzi with 8.94 and Gabby with 8.89. Well, stats don't lie. Player with the highest kills in a game, Nisha. This is a harder call to make, considering that all it takes for a player to secure this category is one absurd game where he absolutely takes off. For us, Nisha from Team Secret is the most likely candidate to do this, considering the playstyle of Team Secret and the fact that he goes absolutely bonkers on heroes like Morphling and Phantom Assassin, killing anything and everything he can get his hands on. Player with the lowest death average, Nisha. Once again, we're going to stick with the stats of the 2018 to 2019 DPC season, according to which Nisha averages 2.44 deaths per game, followed by Ame with 2.52 deaths per game. Aggressive players who are involved in almost every single aggressive play a team makes is the most likely to take this category. Tims from TNC Predator fits it perfectly. Both the team and the player are hyper-aggressive and are always on the lookout for kills, which allows him to amass a ton of assists every single game. Player with the highest assists in a game, Kwaikwa. This category should go to a player who has a global presence, so candidates who are most likely to pick up heroes like the Zeus, Spectre or Tinker should be preferred. Hence Ana with his Spectre, Kwaikwa with his Zeus, or even Ace with his Arc Warden are the most likely candidates to take this category. Player with the highest last hit average, Ace. Ace averages the highest last hit average over the course of the 2018 to 2019 DPC season, averaging 379 CS per game. He is followed by Nisha, who averages 352 CS per game. We have no reason to deviate from this, considering the sheer length of NIP's games. Player with the most last hits per game, Ace. Once again, I point you towards the stats and the sheer number of times Ace has carried NIP by stretching out games and amassing an absurd amount of CS on his Arc Warden in the past DPC season. It is difficult to imagine this not happening at the international line. Expect Ace to deliver on this premise. Player with the most GPM in a game, Somnus. Yeah, we're looking for an Alchemist player. No other hero comes close to that hero in terms of GPM. Our pick to take this is one of the best Alchemist players competing at TI. He is a player who turns it up a notch when it comes to TI. He has delivered over and over again, across multiple years but is still yet to grab a hold of that Aegis. Somnus aka Maybe is our candidate to take home the GPM crown at TI9, especially considering the monstrous number of Alchemist games he has played over the years. Player with the highest GPM average, Arteezy. Arteezy averages the highest GPM stats with a staggering 660.79 across the 2018/2019 DPC season. This is especially surprising considering the fact that he plays alongside yet another greedy core like Samel. He is closely followed by Ame with 658.2 and Ramses with 651.4 in this category. Surprisingly, Fatah holds the distinction for playing 37 different heroes across the 2018/2019 DPC season. Just behind him is the team secret trifecta of Zai with 33 different heroes, Puppy with 30, and Midone who has also played 30 different heroes. We expect Team Secret to make a deeper run than NIP at the international line, allowing them to pick even more heroes. So we pick Zai to take this category. When it comes to TIs, the usual number of games played in the main event, especially after the current double elimination format was introduced in TI5, usually ranges from 45 to 54. We expect the number of games at the main event to be on the higher end of the spectrum. With so many viable heroes, it is quite hard to arrive at an exact number. No hero is truly unpickable in this meta, so we'd go with 91 to 100 heroes for a safe bet. The same goes for bans. Total number of heroes banned, 91 to 100. Usually, there is always that one game in TI where both teams bash their heads against each other and rack up the kill score to absurd numbers. This number is usually in this range. We expect the same for this TI as well. Longest game of the tournament, 90 minutes to 99 minutes and 59 seconds. With Arc Warden being a viable pick, any game can last well over 90 minutes or perhaps even more. However, we expect the team with Zet to close it out or the enemy team to get frustrated and throw themselves at the barracks by this time. This one will either be a stomp or Virtus Pro tilting and calling GG out of sheer frustration. While sub 15 minute stomps are definitely not unheard of, it is difficult to imagine teams of this caliber giving up so early in the biggest tournament in history. So 15 minutes to 19 minutes 59 seconds seems to be the likelier possibility. All it takes is one match where a player goes Super Saiyan. Over the past few TIs, we have regularly seen pros completely take over games with absurd numbers in the kills department. With teams beginning to put quite a lot more emphasis on aggression, expect this number to be on the highest end of the scale. Most deaths by a hero in a game, 18 to 20. 5 position supports are no longer that expendable and their positioning has become better and better over the course of the season. So 18 to 20 deaths seems to be an ideal prediction for this metric. Most assists by a hero in a game, 36 plus. With the meta trending towards teamfights and Roshans, the number of kills we see every game is also in the rise. Teams are also beginning to resort to 4 or 5 man gangs, rather than the 2 to 3 man gangs we used to see previously. Hence, the assist numbers we'll see in this TI is expected to be quite high. Highest GPM by a hero in a game, 1000 plus. With the sheer amount of Alchemist picks we've seen in the Epicenter Major and the International Line qualifiers, we expect at least one of them to completely take off and breach the 1000 plus GPM mark. To summarize, here are our predictions for your TI9 Battle Pass. Thanks for watching. Do you agree with our predictions? Which one do you think is definitely wrong? Let us know in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe to AFK Gaming Dota 2.